Welcome to the show. Good morning again. You've heard our conversation. I want to get your opinion because you said you did a research. Like, she just finished, in case you don't know, let me let you know. She just finished her PhD just last month, Abi?
Yeah, June 6th, I graduated.
Exactly. And our research was based on indigenous. So if you want to talk about culture, at least she understands what is local to us. Yes. Please, this thing called polygamy and having younger wives take care of older men, and is it something that is indigenous to us, and how has it benefited us?
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so let me lay this background. Baba Beji, whatever I say is purely professional opinion, not your view. So let me put that caveat first. So I'll be objective as much as possible. One of the foundation of our practice as a psychologist or as a social worker is that no matter any principle you handle, there's a color of culture context to it. So it doesn't matter what is this, the culture has a way of, it's fabricated into everything we do, either consciously or unconsciously. I know I did a course in social work, beautiful course, it's called Traditional Family System in Africa. Now, the traditional family system in Africa, the way it is actually, I don't know how to say it in English, but they call these Allah Shamo, Erio Shukba, all those nice moonlight stories.
Yes.
Moonlight stories. Know. Now I'll ask you, who tell moonlight story at night?
It's not the women.
It's not the women, they are cooking, it's the men.
The men.
Oh my goodness.
It's the men.
It's the men. When they go to farm and they go to work, the women most times do the lighter part of the work.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
The women, so it's a family, when you look at it in the modern spectrum now, it's a family business. The men do the production, the women do the processing and marketing of the product. So, and that's why for us in social work, I want to talk about child protection. There's a difference between a daddy and a father. On the other day, we did Father's Day. Have you done Daddy's Day? I'll bring another thing to traditional family system in Africa. Why do you think we do, in Africa, why do we do, is it widowed now? That's Thomas Shuobrin.
Okay, yes.
That's
widow's rights.
Widow's right. Why do we do it? I'll ask you again. It's to provide, it's not because they want the younger bride to sleep with the woman. It's to provide the fatherly support for the child. It's so that when you go as a woman, no matter how fantastic, see, we don't like to condemn single parenthood. But I'll tell you, research has proven that any of the significant other that is present in that relationship has a stronger bond with the child. Meaning that a child in single parenthood may experience more love than a child in co-parenting. However, in the interest of the child, co-parenting is essential. But when it is inevitable,
one parent must be present.
One parent must be present.
Least.
Yes, and even when we separate, it's encouraged that you can do co-parenting where you're separate, but the child is a common interest. And that's what we always applaud Lagos for the child protection law. He's saying no matter what you do, go for the child, the best interest of the child. Now, if I don't want to come into that topic from child parenting, but let's look at it from culture. That a man marries another woman, you see, we should be honest with ourselves. Research has proven that the older we grow, the lower our libido comes. But also research has proven that, for majority, our low is relative. You know, psychologically, we move on a spectrum. So we move, I might be here, and you might be 10, 5, but the higher we go, the older the age, the lower the libido. Now I ask you, research has also proven that it is going lower in women faster than men, most times, yes.
The women of these days.
However, so that is what we call now, that's what we talk about, the dynamic nature of culture. Now, the trend is changing.
It's changing, though. Women
so our mommies now, we tell them, I'm doing like kind of advocacy on her now, saying, Mommy, please provide for daddy in the other room now that daddy is active. Because the women of nowadays now, I joke about with my aunties in 50s that rascality starts at 50. Then full-fledged rascality is at 60.
It's cooking from 40. It's actually cooking from 40. I'm telling you, you
know that those Gatsby. I know that those team party.
Yes.
I went to one on, I think 2 weeks ago, and then it was an all-white party. I just look at the woman. You know what she's wearing? A kimono and a palazzo.
Before.
Yes.
You know? And I look at the woman. In fact, that day, I was only doing observatory analysis. Like I was reading, I research. I'm more of a practitioner and a research than any other thing. And then I was looking at the woman. I said, truly, rascality starts at 50. Then in full fledged, the lines is like you look at RMD when he did that his 60th birthday. Do you see what that man did? Rascality start at that age, and then at 60 you now get the full license.
To do anyhow.
You become an authority. And then one will now look at developmental psychology, life stages, and how people, all the theories you want to prove. The difference between me...
Let me ask you a question.
Well,
let me just ask something.
Okay.
The statistics, yes. The statistics we have that the libido reduces in women, could that statistics have come from a place where society had already molded women to manage that expectation? Hold on.
Okay.
To manage that expectation. And so, because they have managed it over and over and over, it just starts declining. Not that is the natural nature of women.
Yes.
Because even back in the day, we had women who did not allow society, a few of them at the time, who were bold enough to challenge what society had placed, the bar society had placed on them. And their libido level was different from the traditional woman who has accepted that this is the way life should be.
Exactly. So she's saying
and
that
now women are waking up. Yes, women are waking up to the truth of their nature.
Yes.
Medical enhancers.
With
after
menopause.
Yes, no, we're after
even after. Okay, aside from even that, they are waking up now to see that, oh, my body can actually respond like this. A lot of women do not even understand their body in the first place. Some are understanding their body now. I can still feel this way. And could that be could that be the reason it's now looking like there's a change in the statistics that we have always known?
Okay, thank you. Let me applaud you. So just face the camera and tell my professor in Unilag that I just finished my new assignment.
Are you serious?
So my new research now is looking at the sociocultural dynamics. Now, and what you just did now is explaining the sociocultural dynamics of stereotypes.
Yes.
Because you were told you are a woman, you are going to a woman's house, you don't need to do this, you don't need to go to school, we're only learning crocheting. Now that you know that you're a woman, you can be all that you can be. Then I'm having 2 masters, 1 PhD, and everybody knows that the second one is already rearing his head. You understand? And that's why you're here. You're a serial entrepreneur, and you're still here. Now, you are very correct. And that's why I said earlier that that's the dynamic nature of culture. The society also is dynamic. And the dynamic nature of culture is, the pace now is changing faster. Now, the United Nations has also told us now that the more indigenous community will become urbanized. And by 2040, you have more than 50% of indigenous communities now becoming an urban center. Now, as this happens, they don't happen in isolation. There's a lot of things changing.
The mindsets.
When I finished, the day I finished my PhD graduation, the Monday I traveled to Ife to do a course on gender and development. And I was like, why am I doing that? Because when I was doing that research, I found that there's a gender dimension to every phenomenon. I was studying poverty. And then I read that there's a gender dimension to poverty. When you read culture, there's a gender dimension to it. So I wanted to see. So when I was going there, I don't like feminism. Because I believe if you're a woman, and you believe in yourself, and you build your self-esteem, and you invest in yourself, I don't know who can put you down.
Exactly.
I don't know. So I don't really do much in feminism. But when I went for that course in Ile-Ife, I found out, in OAU, I found out that the gender mainstream is saying, can we extract every issue by all genders? That's what that's a new direction now. Initially, it was equity for the women and all that. But now it's saying, take the lens, look at it from the male angle, drop it. Look at it from the female angle, drop it.
We never got a chance.
Yes.
They never
men don't allow.
So let me tell you, let's not take it from where we are. Where are we coming from? We were not there. I posted a video on my status yesterday of one of my presentations and saying, policies in gender issues, or policies and gender, we don't have a voice. We weren't there.
Even now, how many of women are
even in religion?
People are talking about the 35% affirmative action. We're already at 50%.
Yes.
But here we have not even achieved 35%. I'm sure you've seen the video recently. I was training in a country where they were talking about female genital mutilation again. Look at that parliament I was discussing. How many % of them are women?
So they don't understand it and they cannot see
So
from
when we
that
now
perspective.
take this issue, let's extract. So this polygamy issue, let's extract
From the perspective of
from
a
all the
woman.
man.
Because from the men's perspective,
And the man,
We
please,
have
I'm balancing
from
it.
the men.
From the part of the women and the man. And I think one of your caller balanced it for me.
Yeah.
Let's have a discussion. Let's agree. Me, I'm still missing my late stepmother. I think recently last week, I still weep when I remember her. She died about 20 years ago, but I still weep. I have that strong feeling. If my stepmother is alive, I should have done more with my life than this. My mother is fantastic. She's the best thing I've ever had. But I love my stepmother. I love my mom so much.
able to balance it.
No, because no, she is. That's all. In every phenomenon you're also discussing, the personality involved also matters. I tell my husband, you can do everything, but I can't deal with with another wife with my children.
As bountiful like this.
No, leave the side. Forget about me. Me, you don't like my own principle. I may be wrong. I don't believe in. I'm not asking you for too much of love me. I love you. I'm only asking be responsible towards me. When a man is responsible towards a woman, it is naturally easier for most women to love and love sincerely. When a woman is responsible towards the man, it is easier for the man to drop the usual narrative.
Yes.
And then they begin to say, somebody said, I think say in Hausa, and they'll say he's husband of one wife. If you get the satisfaction where he is,
What's he looking for?
what's he looking for?
Why go abroad?
Even if he's someone that now has higher libido and you cannot satisfy the person, do you not check it when you're coming in? As a counselor, I tell people when they come for marriage counselor,
They should do first.
when they come,
It's not allowed.
I'm a day star member. My
Please.
I was
this
They don't carry church. They don't carry church on the matter again.
What I want to say, let me do what
I
I'm
was
saying.
below you.
What I want to say is this. When we want to get married, one of my core principles, our own standard of procedure in counseling, in my own organization is, look at him very well, look at her very well.
Okay.
How far have you seen? You cannot see it all. You can date for 20 years and that person just draw a card one day and then you're taking
How do you
aback.
check that stuff?
So, what's your pass mark? My pass mark is 75. Does it meet 75? The other things that are not so, it might meet 100 and the 0.1 that is missing is the most important thing to me.
Your deal breaker.
So, do you get your deal breaker? Remove it. Then other things can you trade off? Then we are good to go. So in everything there are trade-offs. So if it's not only you can trade off, then
But how do we check? How do we check that thing? Doctor, jester, doctor, pastor. How do we check? How do we check that thing that is working?
So before you see
Because I'm the unmarried one, yeah. I need to know how am I checking.
one of the things that cause
check.
lack of congruence is one, know yourself.
Okay.
The Quran says, know me before you serve me.
Okay.
If you know me, if you don't know me, how do you serve me? That's what the Quran says. And the Bible also says, find the truth and hold that which is. So my own is, what are your scorecards? Who are you? My own first problem now is my freedom.
Okay.
I can't be contained. Naturally, I don't know why, but I understand that I can't be contained. And the older I go, the more I see that I can't be contained.
Yeah.
Now, can you deal with a successful woman? If you cannot deal with a successful woman, you may not be able to deal with me.
I know these things you're talking
That
about.
was
I'm
a
talking
deal.
about the libido one.
So the libido one,
She's just going like this.
I said it from the beginning. I said the narrative is changing. Now, for you, you're busy.
My sister,
But you've given your...
Let me help you with this libido matter.
I don't understand. You're just going like this, going like this, going like this. You want to confuse me with a single one?
No.
Don't confuse
It's
me.
important to know that everything can be treated. Libido can be dealt with if you have a willing partner.
If it's not a problem, why do you want to deal with it?
If it's
not a problem,
yes, you can deal with it. Like if you have, there are cases where you have married someone that it seems like you are unequal in terms of libido.
Yes, so how do you raise the person's
communication has been done.
There are
to
medications.
establish there
to
are
raise
ways.
it.
Yes.
Yes,
What
there
if
are
it's not his
medications.
style to be raised?
No,
But everybody likes
if
it
you
that
are
much.
not willing, no, BC, let me land. Because we're helping people that are at home now and feel like we are unequally yoked. So I need to help myself outside. And many of them are using that as an excuse to cheat and philander. I believe that if the willing partner, in most cases, where the problem happens is that one person wants to do, second person say, I can't be bothered. If somebody wants to do and you are not in the mood, you need to be willing to do the work to get in that mood. you need to be willing to do the work, which means I'm studying my lifestyle, I'm studying my eating pattern, I'm studying what I need to do because I want to commit to helping my husband, or the husband is saying, I want to commit to help my wife. But if you are not willing to do the work, it cannot be work done. There are sex therapists now.
Let me say this. Okay. Let me say this. You see, on the libido matters, I will not encourage you to do before marriage. Okay. But if you feel comfortable to do, I am not a pastor.
Because you are
she's going there.
I am saying I'm going there. If you feel uncomfortable, if you feel comfortable not to do, don't. Okay. But if you feel you want to do. I am not a pastor here. Now, on the libido matter, even if we don't do before marriage, can we discuss it? Okay. We should always discuss it. I remember I had a suitor then before marriage, and then the person was talking, excuse me, the person was talking, and the way he was talking, like, this market can't work. Oh. You know, the way he was priming himself and saying, and I looked at it and said, this is not what I'm looking for. I may not be, in fact, I say it openly, I may not be that sexual person. Maybe because of my energy is going into so many things. But I bring up my game to meet up with my partner because I feel comfortable with it. But don't forget that sex starts from the brain for a woman. So if my brain is not there, no matter how you say eat right, eat this, if I don't feel like it, I don't feel like it. And that's what we're advocating. Our law here has not put place for spousal rape. That my husband, I woke up and my husband opened, and then I found out that he dealt with me and I didn't give consent. I can't still go to court and report and get justice from sleep. Look, you meet me at bus stop. You cannot catch train in Nagege when it's moving now. You're already there. I'm sleeping. Then you just come and then come on top. And what about my own journey to get to you have to take me to the bus stop and then we travel together.
Can I interject? Okay, can I interject?
That's not therapy, it's pure understanding.
No, but can I interject? First of all, I don't know anybody, any man that's going to buy a car without testing that car or without yes, let me land now. It's my own turn to talk. I went to buy the car. Men that love cars without doing research on that car, they'll tell you the engine, the speed, the kiniko.
Without test driving.
Without test driving it and buying. So me, I don't believe in buying a car that or that I did not test. One. So when it comes to libido, yes, I'm very emphatic. Look at me, oh. I will test it. I know what I'm getting into, but I don't want to cheat. Then two, then two, is that kindness. I come back to that thing I keep saying. Kindness and intentionality. Gifts open up a way and doors for a man. If your wife's libido is low, it is so easy to raise. So women, we like gifts, we like happiness, we like sweet, small things.
Soft life.
Soft life. When you're coming back, now if I like a mango now, you buy mango if you sit. Now, by the time I lick my mango, I now say, baby, come here. I will come.
No, you don't need to say baby.
You don't even need to say baby. I'll be so excited. If it's chewing gum that I like, buy chewing gum. You don't have to be, it mustn't be the expensive things, but be intentional about that door that you want to knock on. Please, massage it, oil it so that it can open.
If you want to step on a cold ground, you pour water in advance. Yeah. But I'm still a proponent of therapy. Sex therapists help. They help because they raise their awareness. Some women have trauma which has led to their low libido.
Yes.
And in some cases, some men have medical condition which has led to their own low libido. So if the men are able to deal with the medical condition, women are dealing with their trauma, or even men dealing with their trauma. Some men have their first exposure is with a maid or in funny, kinky way.
Or even rape.
In rape. Funny. So it has distorted how they want to do things that they feel they cannot do in their matrimonial bed. And so it disturbs the flow of what they want to do. It is extremely important for both parties to have a conversation around how we are going to resolve this issue, because we are together forever.
That's for those ones that are married, right?
For the ones married. I am of the opinion that we do not sample, that when we have entered...
Of course.
You don't have
because
the
my own culture
to say this.
Excuse me. Sister, I'm arranging my clothes.
Let me because you can enter, finish, and in the beginning, everything is 100.
Yes.
And then you get pregnant and life changes for you. Yeah. So you will always still have to deal with imbalance in that space.
Of course.
So what you have to prepare yourself to manage the reality of what happened. Yes. One of my friends is dealing with premenopause. So all of us now, we are studying premenopause. We went to watch Ketensha's video. Oh, what are the hormone replacement therapy that you can use, exercising, all of those things, because at that point in time, your body is changing. When you are pregnant, body change. Breastfeeding, body change. So that constant change means that you can't fight the change. hormones will go up and down. When a guy is going through stress at work, he is not interested.
Yes.
So you must find a way in some cases. And sometimes it is in that time that he is very interested as a way to compensate for the challenges he's facing. So it means that at that point in time, there will be difference. Yes. So each party must be willing to work and manage those differences. Yes. Our topic has nothing to do with Ozarum, but please, my wonderful ladies. Can
I add a balance? Can I add a balance?
You see,
before we get to therapy, I think education is important.
Yeah.
This is an issue that we don't discuss. Mommies don't sit their children down to tell them. Daddies don't. You see, well, sometimes I was doing a peer review, not peer, because the older colleague, and we were doing a study review yesterday, and I said, when a man markets himself, and okay, let me give the analogy I gave. I said, you're my professor, and I know your style when it comes to exam. This professor only wants to see that you get the crux of the knowledge. He doesn't care when you can explain or you cannot explain. So he give you case study, and then if you know the word he's talking, you get it. Now, I've seen other professors who want you to show that you have read encyclopedia, you have finished the whole of all the theology, everything that is available on APA and all that. And I know some people says that, I have a lecturer who says, read extensively and exhaustively. That's one of the worst words I've ever heard in my life.
Exhaustively.
Yeah, you must read until there's nothing new to read again. That's a style. It's a beautiful place to be. Now, but on this, now, if I now go to an examination and I'm answering Dr. Akinwale's exam, who says read extensively and exhaustively. And I'm writing like my professor's exam, who just want to show that, show me that you know it. I'll fail. So when guys, let's say the truth here. A lot of men think they know and they don't know.
Hey, what is your kubiko?
Bam.
Drop
the mic. Drop it.
Okay, but you see, like in my culture, we don't discuss. You can't discuss
things like this.
There are safe channels. There are safe channels.
You can't because okay. So even if you do all these things before marriage, how many do you want to test before you get married?
Exactly.
Okay, this is
that's a criteria.
We all agree the social challenge.
That's a criteria.
We are now creating opportunity for another person who can be their own calling to say, can I do sex education? Can you churn out, apropos, I don't know if it's allowed, churn out content every day?
Concerning this area.
Concerning this area. So, and you see, another thing about culture, they know. They don't know, and they don't know, and they don't want to learn.
Yes.
Unconscious incompetence.
Okay, you said it, I did not say it, though. You know? So when we go home, we both face our music. But you know, they don't know, but they think they know. You know, I'll say this as simple as this. There's a psychological condition called vaginismus. And the man is coming. Let me even say aerosport now. Let me even come simple. Aerosport. You're coming and you're starting from... Oh, I'm sorry. You're starting from the bottom. You know what I mean by the bottom. And I hate you touch the bottom.
So we must give communication.
Give communication. I know where to start. Because some people want to use the microphone now. And then you start from the crown of the microphone. I have read on YouTube now that you don't start from the crown of the microphone.
This my fellow church member. If
I want to become born again. I've changed.
We are going to take this show from breakfast to dinner.
So education is what we're talking about. Please, men, go and learn.
Looking at it from the lens of men.
Yes.
Let me speak for you, men. Men need feedback. If you do not give me accurate feedback, I would think I am doing the right thing.
You will frame me if I give you accurate feedback. Oh. You will frame me by... Now you are framing me already. That I know too much. Now if you give, you judge us.
That's why we
There is this judgment. So I beg, help yourself, I'll help myself. When I don't encourage pornography. But when you go on YouTube, how to satisfy your husband is available.
How do men too? Do they check how
that is what I'm advocating. That's what I'm saying now. Go and check. I check.
That's not our topic.
So can I just bring
you ask me the question?
No. I want to go to her. I want to, because, like, I feel like I need to bring you back to discuss Women We Love Wednesday, because I'd like to understand how you have 2 masters, and you said Beji, which means you have
3 boys.
You have
3 boys.
Wow, you're really bountiful.
I have twins and Dido.
That's good. Exactly the way I have 2 boys and Idowu. Yeah. So, and then you are doing 2 masters, and then you've done PhD, and then you want to still do another one. And I would like, because some women are looking at it that when you have children, they feel it has shut down, or not that they feel, they are overwhelmed. literally overwhelmed by the mothering stage of their life. So I really wanted to talk to you more about it. Are there a few things that you will help equip us with to help us handle?
The first and foremost is find yourself. Who are you? What's your purpose? What drives you? I just finished my PhD, Doctor of Social Work, and the feeling is leaving me with. I get overwhelmed when I talk about it. I wasn't looking, I was looking for a research. I was looking for my findings. I was looking for evidence-based solution to the socioeconomic stability of indigenous communities. I wasn't looking for the title. I got what I want, and I got the title. Now, when it comes to us as women, we all have, I tell people, everybody has their own problem. Type and time may differ, but we all have what we're going through. I didn't have it smooth in motherhood. My first child, you know, we lost her about 2 years. I waited again, 5 miscarriages in a row, and then, you know, I have to be on hormone, I have to be on Dufastone. I had a 40 kg with the twins. I've been obese all my life, but I had a 40 kg on the twins. I'm battling with that. Then I just shed weight. We're doing dieting to conceive. There's a womb lining and cholesterol, and then I shed 22 kg. Then pregnancy came and said, it's precious, so you have to be on the bed. And I carried the pregnancy for 8.5 months. I lived in the hospital for 5.5 months.
Wow.
And whenever I had the twins, I had postpartum depression. My mother doesn't know what it's called. People around don't know what it's called. And about the time we were going for, I think I just called my best friend. I said, babe, we've been out of university for about 4 or 5 years. What are we doing? Let's do our masters. Oh, let's do so. We went to Unilag. I said, I've always wanted to do, so I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to do counseling. But my parents said, you are brilliant, go and do medicine. And then they wasted all the years. But I appreciate them. The experience also counts now. So when I'm doing my psychotherapy or I'm doing chemical studies, I understand what I'm talking about. So I went all the way. And then just being who I am, because I know myself. I was an intern at the hospital. I'm St. Nicholas then. And then they run an open system. So I just go to the MD's office and say, sir, please, I want to see you. And I observe the environment, and these are my findings.
Research.
And then I go there, and I was even so young, I don't even know what it's called. I was just in my 20s, early 20s. And I'll go again and say, sir, I did, now I know what it's called haphazard interview. I asked questions from my HOD and everybody, and this is what I found out. And I go in to tell the man, and the man just opened the door, and the man will tell me, one day he said, who are you? And I said, I'm the little girl in the lab. What are you doing here? Because what you are telling us for free, we are paying our consultant and we're not getting it. Wow. And then he referred me to say a career consultant. I'm just a pure agege girl. I don't know who a career consultant is. So, but then because I know what I was looking for, I was born and brought up in a particular church. And I know this church will not take me to where I'm going. I left my church. With the man I most likely will come back. But then this was where they were doing training. You know, success power. You know, the way the people, and then all my friends in the developmental space, human capacity training, they will tell you they went to do DLA, they went to Daystar. So please show me where is Daystar. I wanted to go there and then learn. So, and one day I said, go to Daystar. I heard that one and I went there. And when we go to this, so I read one book from Oyakilome. Oyakilome said...
It's paining me now that we're discussing, see what we should be having discussing. We are almost out of time. We have to round up in like 2 minutes.
Okay, so by the time Oyakilome read, in one of his books I read, he said, 10 students can read one book. But what everybody is reading is different. Same book, but different. So when I go to church and they are doing sermon, born against my want to read sermon. For me, every sermon in this is a training model. And I was jotting my model. I just come and put it on my PowerPoint and I'm good to go. And I just do more research. So I know what I wanted. My core is people, community, and business development. You cannot develop people without talking about their economic capacity. And I don't want to start development from here. I know you need it too. But there are people who need this opportunity and they can't get it. From that moment, that man told me to do my analysis and found out, okay, what I want to do was to help. So I began to find where can I help. Then I found out, all I know there was MTN Foundation. And I went and I said, we're only granting office, we don't do projects. Oh yeah, who do you grant to that does? Okay, they mentioned Jan and Faith Foundation. I know myself.
You went there.
I don't like to deal with children. I didn't go to Jan. I went to Faith. And that was the best thing that happened to my life. I met female bosses who fan
the flame
and the hunger, and they are still nurturing it. And so when I feel confused in my life, whether I want to meet my mentor, my ET then at Faith, I said, ma,
we're going to bring you, honestly,
we're going to bring you so that you come and talk.
Bring you back. And we're bringing you back to talk because you have touched on, we've discussed a whole lot today. And I want to appreciate all our audience, our viewers that have been commenting on YouTube, Facebook, even calling. Amazing. Bountiful, you are coming back. And that's to talk about self-discovery, exploring,
personal mastery.
Personal mastery. And I kept hearing that you kept using your gifts, and that was how you now got to the point that somebody could advise you to do career and all of that. So we would definitely want to dig more. There are many women watching that would love to know how you got over postpartum depression and how you're dealing with weight and all of those things. There's a whole lot to uncover, and yet still find personal fulfillment. Wow, what a way to end this Friday. But don't forget, we still have a full show on Your View Pigeon tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, ladies, for a very
Happy birthday to Mariah.
engagement.
Happy birthday,
Mariah is her birthday is tomorrow, so Mariam is next, and all of that. We'll see you on Monday. Stay with we're not stay with us, so enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.
Bye.